can round up. You got your...
Yep.
All right. What's up, guys? Nate here with Roof Korean Concepts. I'm out on the range with TNS Solutions. You can find them on Instagram. Caleb, how you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Hey, so we were out at the range and we both brought out our 300 Blackouts, and we figured it might be time to do a little bit of a video to talk about our setups, why we chose Blackout, and what the niche usage for 300 Blackout might be. So I'll have you start. Why don't you give an overview of your stick and then kind of the reason why you set it up and got that.
So, to be honest, I built my 300 Blackout by accident. I have built a short AR-10 in 308, and I was like, well, it's going to be short, so it's going to be loud, so I'll buy a 30 cal can. Right, just making sense of it. I was like, well, now that I have a 30 cal can on the way, I might as well build a 300 block. So this thing kind of sort of came into fruition. It's a 8.3 Griffin. Oh, it's not Griffin Armament. It's a Ballistic Advantage. This is their Hanson barrel. Came with the pin gas block and all the cool stuff. Griffin Armament, handguard, low pro, 7.5. I don't remember. I think it's an arrow upper, and then I stole a lower off one of my other guns because I haven't figured out if I want to do the long tactical system or do a PDW style. Make this thing as short as possible. Kind of my reasoning for building this gun the way I wanted to build it. I have a toddler, and I prefer to not let loud stuff go in the house, and the event that I need to defend the house. So short, sweet, quiet, performs extremely well ballistically. So that's how this thing came into existence, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. My story is, this is not built, this is a bot, so this is a Daniel Defense PDW, and it's got a 7-inch barrel. It has their handguard. This whole gun, Daniel Defense started manufacturing almost everything. So it does have the Maxim Defense receiver extension, elevated silence suppressor. I got this because I knew my suppressor was going to be out of NFA jail soon, and I wanted to have a gun that was designed for suppression, but it goes along the same idea as Caleb here for his purposes. 300 Blackout excels at close range, like 100 yards, give or take 50 yards in each direction, is where the caliber shines. It's a short range freight train. So while it loses a lot of energy as you get further away, at close range it dumps so much more energy that it makes it a very efficient system. It also is very efficient out of shorter barrels, whereas 5.56 struggles to stabilize with anything shorter than an 11.5 truly.
Sorry,
300 Blackout.
10-3 boys.
Yeah, I mean, I run a 10.5, but 300 Blackout can stabilize out of something as short as a 5 to 7 inch barrel, which makes it extremely efficient for a small gun. That, along with the fact that with Subsonics, this thing is movie quiet. This makes it great for a home defense setup where if you did have to blast in the house, for all of you who run ARs, if you've never shot an AR in an echo chamber, you will blow your eardrums out along with all your kids' eardrums and the bad guys' eardrums, and hopefully you hit the target.
Yeah, suppressors are polite. I mean, that's kind of my... After I started hanging around guys with cans, I was like, okay, now I gotta have one. Now that I have one, I never not use mine.
Right.
Especially when it goes with the rifle stuff. Preserve that hearing as best you can, and just be nice to the people around you. You know, especially with these shorter guns. Now, underneath this can, because this is Yankee Hill Resonator R2, this does have the micro brake, which is extremely small, extremely loud. I will not shoot this thing without the can on it. But the reason I bought this can was for the 308. Now that I have a standard length can, this thing's like 7.2 or 7.5, it suppresses this extremely well. Only reason I didn't go 7-inch barrel or anything shorter than 8 is because Yankee Hill has barrel length restrictions. So, you know, didn't want to avoid no warranty. So, you know, looking out for that, and I'm extremely happy with how this thing performs and how it sounds.
It has great tone, and it's quiet. I think it's actually quieter than mine. It could be, when you get into barrel lengths, an inch of barrel can make a huge difference for how much sound you get. But this is the elevated silence can. It's a titanium can. It does have a gnarly brake, so I wouldn't want to shoot this. Yeah, I wouldn't want to shoot this without. But the brake is designed to integrate into the suppressor, and so that's why they designed it that way. I'm probably never going to shoot this thing unsuppressed.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Not at all. Right. Not if I can help it. But my reasoning for running a brake, I'm never going to shoot this thing unsuppressed. But I also believe in sacrificial baffles.
Yes.
Right.
Same.
So being able to have the most suppression possible. The 2-chamber that Yankee Hill sends with this can is on the 308, and I've got a flash hider for the 5.56, and this thing shines and does well with all 3 of these that I've, you know, 3 types of rounds that I put through, all for different uses. So I'm happy. You know, right now we're at a, I would say, really exciting time in terms of suppressor technology. Everybody has really cool cans. They're all coming out with really cool stuff. Somehow folks are making really quiet cans really affordable. And then you've got guys who are literally using space technology for cans.
Yeah.
Energetic armament, elevated silence, all the cool guys are making, like, you know.
Especially, have you seen some of those 3D printed cans? I mean, it's just, the technology is crazy cool. If you are on the fence about getting a 300 Blackout or getting a suppressor, I can tell you they were made for each other. Yeah. One other thing about 300 Blackout, and I hear this a lot, is, well, I don't want to get a 300 Blackout because of how expensive the ammo is. I get it. Paying upwards of $1 or more a round is not great. But if you are getting an AR patterned rifle 300 Blackout, that does not mean that every time you're out at the range you have to take the 300 Blackout and train with it. The fact is, if you have great technique running a 5.56, it translates over. Yeah. So set up your 300 Blackout, make sure it's zeroed, run a few rounds every once in a while, and then train with your 5.56. Thanks for sticking around. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the roof. Stay safe. See you on the roof.